Hello. My AirPod out. I said I would feed my starter and make a video. I almost forgot and started to do it. I'm taking it out of the jar. I have a big jar for this because I have a lot of starter. So I don't know why, since I hardly ever make bread anymore, but I like to keep it because I do make it for neighbors and stuff and for special events. So I like to have plenty of it. So here it is. Hasn't been fed in at least a month, probably longer. And it didn't have any hooch. It didn't have any of that alcohol kind of liquidy stuff on top, but it's very alcohol. You can smell it. The one thing that I do is that I don't measure for this. There's no reason to measure. It's all about the consistency, like I've said over and over again. So it's hungry. I should give it a pretty good amount. It hasn't had anything to eat for a while, so maybe 5, 6, 7 tablespoons for an old starter, not for one that you're making right now. 1 or 2 tablespoons, maybe 3 of flour, and half a tablespoon, maybe a little more for water. Now, I'm just gonna mix this in until I get the consistency I want. And if I keep having to adjust, that's not a problem. Not a problem at all. This was a little bit runny, so I'm just gonna keep adjusting until I get it just the consistency that I want. And I wanna make sure I get it mixed really well. The old starter has a tendency to resist the new flour and water. So that's why I do it in a measuring cup or a bowl. I don't like to do it in the jar. It makes a mess of your jar, and then it's very hard to tell if it's growing or not, or if it grew and fell back down. If the jar is really dirty, you can't tell if it's really messy. And I never wash with soap. Kills all the good bacteria you're growing. You're starting over from scratch every time. Make sure you get that bottom, you know. Okay, now this is about the right consistency. That's about what I want. I've given it enough flour to give it some fuel. I'm gonna get a clean jar. Normally, I just rinse out the old jar, but I didn't want to take time to do that right now. I just wanted to get this video made. And I'm really goofy these days, not quite myself because of our travel and our vacation. We're still pretty worn out. Anyway, now I try not to get it on the sides of the jar when I'm pouring it, because I want it to stay clean so I can see it growing. And this starter is old enough now that it makes very sour sourdough bread, and I'm not really a big fan of sourdough bread, which when I started this, I hated sourdough bread. I wouldn't eat it. And then I liked it when I first started making it. But then as the bread got more and more sour, I liked it less and less. So only my husband, well, my neighbor likes it, but I just don't make it that often, especially in the summer. Okay, as you can see, I got it in the jar. Now I'm going to lightly put the lid on it, just a couple turns. I had a problem once where the lid got knocked off, so now I don't screw it down tight, but I screw it enough so that it won't fall off. And then I'm going to put a rubber band on it, because I want you to see. We'll see by maybe the end of the day. I will leave my camera hookup in place so that we can see what that looks like. And you don't want to leave it sit on the cold counter. So I usually have a towel out here, but I don't have one right now. So I'm just going to put it on a napkin on the cold granite. And I'm just going to leave it that way. And I'll leave it there for probably 5 or 6 hours, maybe 7. I'll feed it again because it's been so dormant. So I'll probably give it another feed in the morning just to make sure it's good and healthy. I don't want anything to happen to it. It's been such a good starter. I absolutely love it. So anyway, that's what it looks like when you're feeding a ripe starter. No measuring, no timing, no worries. You're not going to kill it. This thing has been sitting in a fridge for months, for probably 6 weeks, maybe even longer. And you just don't kill it. It just grows. So I'll show you the results later on after it's had a chance to grow a little. All right. Good luck.